Hello, Lindsay. I'm Jasmine, today's host of Global STEM Talks. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're the Vice President of Global Deployment and Head of Diversity in Technology at Affinity. Beyond your leadership in global projects, you have been a true inspiration for women in STEM, working to create opportunities for next generation of girls in tech. I'm really excited to hear about your journey in STEM.
Yeah, thank you, Jasmine, for the opportunity. I started my journey over 20 years ago. Actually, I was born and raised in the Philippines, and I've always loved computer science. After
Wow.
I graduated college, my first job was a systems analyst for Procter& and Gamble, where I worked there for over a year and a half, and then moved on to another company called Hewlett Packard Enterprise, where I was serving P&G. I stayed there for about almost 8 years and then got the opportunity to actually move to the US in a leadership role through HP. And I moved here in 2009 and have been here ever since. I grew a lot in my role from HP. I moved on to telco at T-Mobile, based here in Seattle, Washington, where I am now. And then I became the vice president of global deployment at Affinity for almost 5 years. And I've recently just actually moved to a new startup company where I am heading their engineering team.
Thank you so much for sharing your professional journey. And I'm also curious about the person behind the career. Could you tell us a little bit about your school years? For example, what activities or hobbies interested you the most back then? And did any of them play a role in leading you toward the tech field?
Yeah, so thanks for asking that. When I was in high school, that's when I started getting exposed to computers. I took a lot of computer classes. Back then, it was super basic compared to how it is right now. So it was making graphics, doing simple coding, making very simple apps as well. Those are the things that really fascinated me. Outside of computer related extracurricular activities, I also like to play sports. And I think for that, a different mindset is getting that discipline and being consistent in your practice or in your skill set really helped me get the best of both worlds, not just from an education standpoint, but also being a well rounded person.
Thank you so much. Sounds very interesting. And if you were a high school student today, do you think you would still choose tech? Would it be harder or easier now?
I would still choose tech 100%, mainly because I feel like there's so much technology that's changing and evolving each and every single day. I'm learning so much even in my new role. Even now that I have kids also in high school, technology just changes rapidly. And I think your other question was related to would it be harder or easier? I think it will be
Yeah.
harder actually, just
No.
because of the pace that it's growing. There's so much like AI and generative AI that's growing exponentially, and because of how fast paced the technology is, there's just new innovation that's coming every time.
It's really inspiring to hear about your school years and how you first got interested in technology. But tech has always been seen as a male-dominated field, especially back when you were starting out, I guess. And now you're a part of IGN ITE organization supporting women in tech. Could you tell us more about how you got involved and what motivated you to take part in these initiatives?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, right now there's still a lot of industries that are male dominated, technology in particular, and in the roles that I've had, I usually am either one of the few women or sometimes just the only woman. And one of the things that made me very passionate about supporting or empowering women or joining organizations that support women is primarily because I don't want them to experience the things that I and many more women are experiencing today, that you're the only one or one of the few. I think when you start young, when you start to inspire future women leaders to get into whatever industry that they're in, when they start learning young and being feeling empowered and independent, knowing that they can rule the world and do anything that they want if they put their mind to it. I feel that that sets up a good foundation. I wish that I had something like that when I was young. And if I had that kind of mentorship or sponsorship when I was much younger, I feel like I would probably be even more than what I am today. And I'm just so grateful about the many women that actually inspired and mentored and coached me throughout the years. Without them, I wouldn't be here.
This is very inspiring. Thank you. But turning now to your career, you're also known as a strong leader in technology. You've worked in major global companies and now at Affinity. I wonder, how did you first discover your leadership qualities? Was it something that came naturally through your work or more of a skill that you developed over time?
Yeah, I feel like it's a skill that I developed over time. In school, I always try to either volunteer or be part of a group where I can lead my classmates or my peers. When I started my work, I started as an individual contributor as a systems analyst. But then as a team grew, I realized that one of my passions is actually helping people become successful in their work. And so that grew from an organic, natural tendency to help people to actually becoming an official manager or team leader in the organization. And I just enjoyed expanding teams, building and scaling them, making them high performing. And that's what makes me very fulfilled in my role, which I enjoy until today.
Thank you. You're often worked in male-dominated environments, right? So
Yeah.
how were you received in leadership roles there?
Yeah, I think a lot of the companies that I apply for really focus on diversity as well. So one of the things that I value most or look for in companies is what are their core values. And typically, if their core values are giving everybody a fair chance, it's merit based or performance based, then I know that I'm in the right set of values and people and culture. That's really important because you want to make sure that everybody is given a fair chance. They don't look at your gender or your ethnicity, or basically they look at you because of what you've done and the potential of what you can become and how you can help build the company even further. So those are the things that I look at. And fortunately enough, I've been blessed with these companies where they've not really looked at, oh, you're the only woman, but it really didn't matter to them. What mattered more is how I'm able to contribute and bring value to the organization.
It's very great that it didn't matter to them and they took you in the community. And thank you for sharing your thoughts on leadership. That was insightful. Now, I'd love to shift a little bit into your professional field. You've worked in many areas of technology, but now AI is such a big focus. What feels different about working in AI compared to other areas you've been in?
Yeah, I think AI is such a fascinating area. There's so much opportunities in there where we are just scratching the surface. There's so many apps or companies that grow that gets created every single time, and you'll just see them on LinkedIn or the news. And I think one of the things that fascinates me about AI is the multitude unknowns that and the opportunities that are out there to help humanity and communities. I feel like there's so much more potential on growth and how technology can help serve humans. I know that there's, differing opinions about whether AI will replace jobs, but I feel like it's more of how does it change? It will make new jobs, but it will also change the way how people work, hopefully for the better and make you more productive and efficient.
That's very true. And finally, what's one particular piece of advice you'd give to students who want to start their journey in STEM, maybe even in AI or in global companies like Affinity?
Yeah, so I would advise girls to follow your passion, to think about what do you want in the long term, like where do you want to see the world to be, and based on that you'll find your desire or your passion or interest in the type of STEM courses, uh, college courses that you want to get into. I think that one of the things that I learned when I was a kid, I actually, even though I love computer science, I took mainly a management and engineering course combined, and I feel that that made me a well-rounded person. And I learned so much, even with taking computer science, like extra classes there. And I feel like because I followed that passion, I am where I am right now, because of persistence and perseverance.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Your journey is incredibly inspiring. I'm sure our viewers will take away a valuable lessons from your story. And I'm wishing you continued success in shaping the future of AI. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you, Jasmine. It's great to be here.